Hi, this is Lori from GLP-1 Journey in Review. Today I'm doing a video in my interview series where we talk to people about their weight loss. Today we have Nicole with us, who is also a content creator, My Fairway Life, which will be linked down below in the description. Uh, I want to remind everybody that I am not a healthcare provider. My guest is not a healthcare provider. This is what works for us. It is not intended for medical advice. If you are planning on going on a weight loss journey, I do suggest that you check with your healthcare provider. All that being said, Nicole, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Lori. So, yes, my name is Nicole. I am mostly known as being a golf girl over on Instagram and TikTok, but I have recently started my GLP-1 journey and it has changed my life significantly in the past 2 months. And I decided to share my story because I trust myself. I know I'm an honest person. I'm going to give it to you straight and honest. I'm not going to fluff it up like Instagram and TikTok likes to do. So, yeah, I'm just starting, sharing, learning from all of you guys. I've learned so much in my short journey, and I just hope to keep paying it forward for anybody that's looking to start or needs that support because there's nothing better than having support when you're losing weight.
That's awesome. Which medication are you on?
So I am taking Zepbound. Mine is approved through my insurance for my
Lucky.
pre-diabetes. Yes, and then my boyfriend is also doing it with me. Anthony is doing it.
Hmm.
He is doing the compound terzepatide.
Hmm. And has he been on it the same amount of time?
Yeah, so he had first started about a week behind me. He
Hmm.
started with semaglutide and he did not have any help at all, like zero. He had a maybe like a headache a little bit right after he would do his injection, but
Hmm.
he had no reduction in food noise. He had um not any success with weight loss. He actually gained a pound and then lost it back. And then he switched 2 weeks ago to the compound terzepatide and he lost 4 pounds like that first week, how I
Wow,
did
that's great.
when I started
Mhm,
the Zepbound. And I was so happy for him. And he's the kind of guy that will like finish my food when I'm done eating if I'm, not hungry. And he cannot finish his own food now. And that's great because we're foodies. We like to eat. So I like to see the change in
mhm.
him not being so focused on food as well. So it's been exciting for sure.
Have you lost any weight so far?
Yes. So I weighed in last Thursday. So I ended my 2 months down 13 pounds. So about
No,
six
that's
and a half.
great.
Thank you. About 6.5 pounds a month. And I think that's great for me. I don't want to be
Mhm,
too quick, too fast. I want to sustain. So I know I was just watching TikTok before, and this one girl, she was like, I just finished my 8 weeks on Manjaro, however it's called. And she's like, I lost 27 pounds. And I was like, how did you lose 27 pounds in 8 weeks? Like, that's a lot. So
mm,
I like sharing with my community, like, don't compare yourself to every single person because
no,
you it might take you 2 months to lose 5 pounds. You might lose 27 pounds in 8 weeks. Like, every single person is different. So, that's one thing I keep trying to preach over and over and over is do not focus solely on that scale because it's a it's very personal to each individual, I would say.
yeah. So what was your aha moment that made you decide to go on a GLP-1?
So, I'll be honest, I was one of those people that looked into everything on social media, and it was like the Ozempic craze, like Hollywood hyped
Mhm,
it up to be this horrendous tool that celebrities are using, and they're, like, showing their sunken in faces and all this stuff, and I was like, "Why would people wanna put any of that kind of stuff into their body? Like, that's so unhealthy." And I was back and forth with my doctor. I have always been up and down with my weight. No matter if I lose 20 pounds, it comes back. I can never get rid of like the food noise. So one night,
mhm,
I sometimes I suffer from like insomnia and I'll be up late at night and I was scrolling TikTok and for whatever reason, the GLP-1 stuff was like all in my FYP. And I'm watching it, and these girls are talking about like their food noise, it's gone. They don't, and I'm like, what? Like, I thought I was the only one that like lived around food. And I woke up the next morning and I went to my boyfriend and I was like, I'm making an appointment with my primary care physician because last time I got my blood work, I was pre-diabetic, and I was like, I cannot keep doing this over and over and over. It's like a vicious cycle. And I sat down with her and she was like, you know what? Let's do it. If you want to try it. I had also been prescribed Wegovy 2 years
Mhm.
ago. And again, I didn't commit because I heard all this stuff in the media where it's like, oh, Ozempic's going to give you like the worst skin and the worst, you're going to lose your muscle and all this like negative stuff. And I was scared to death to like see that. So once I started really looking it up and doing research, following case studies, medical doctors, all of that, I was like, okay, I see what the benefits are, and I'm going to pull the trigger this time, and I'm doing it. And I am so glad I did. I regret not doing it 2 years ago, but everything happens for a reason and it's time. So I'm thankful I started.
Let's talk about food noise because I didn't even know what it was till it was gone. And I've also heard people tell me that, oh yeah, yeah, I know food noise and it kind of goes away. And I'm like, if you're not taking a GLP-1 medication, you don't really know what it's like when it goes away.
Yeah, food noise
Mhm.
has always been there, and I had no idea it was that bad until my very first injection. And the next day I woke up, and I'm always somebody that was like anticipating the next meal, like breakfast. The night before, I'm like, what am I going to have for breakfast? It was gone. Like the second I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to see what my body tells me. I'm going to listen to my body and not my brain. And I was pleasantly surprised because I have had the worst food noise since I could ever imagine, just unhealthy relationship with food for a very, very long time. And to have it be cut off instantly where I wasn't planning my day around food and, oh, if I go to this part of town, I can stop here, here, here. And it just, it's a miracle, honestly, that it just
Mhm.
cuts off instantly. I was not anticipating it to be that effective that quick.
What was your biggest surprise after taking it?
I think for me, definitely the appetite suppression. I To look back and see how I've eaten, it's, I want to say like embarrassing, but it's eye opening to see how large my portions have been over the past few years of eating. And to have that cut in half feels amazing. And it's nice to look at your plate now and be like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be filled all the way up, like from the middle all the way out to the edge. Like it's supposed to be a nice portion of everything. So I think learning the portion sizes of what my body actually needs has been wild because I would make like protein pasta, that Barello or whatever it is, protein pasta, and I would
Mhm.
eat like the whole box. Like that's crazy.
So, um, what does food for the day look like for Nicole?
So my boyfriend is the cook for us. So I eat pretty well. Usually we fast, so we don't eat breakfast during the week, but on weekends he'll make us eggs and beef bacon. That is our go-to. We don't really like pork
Mhm.
bacon anymore. So that'll be our breakfast. I'll always have my electrolytes with breakfast, my water and my belly welly or my water and my electrolytes. And then we'll have either like salmon, like a salmon salad. So he'll air fry a piece of salmon, cut it in half. We'll have
Mhm.
that on salad, balsamic glaze. We have chicken burgers. We'll do chicken in the air fryer, chicken wings, a lot of chicken. We also do eat a lot of beef too. Um, we'll also do some bison. So if we're getting a little sick of like beef,
Mhm.
we'll switch it up to do like bison burgers. We were
Mhm.
doing lamb. I love lamb burgers so much, but I think
Mm.
the higher in the fat was kind of messing with my stomach a couple weeks ago. Like I had the worst stomach pains and constantly going to the bathroom. So I was like, let's just pull back on like the super fatty meats right now and see if that's something. But he makes 90% of our stuff in the air fryer. And it's so
Hmm.
easy. We're extremely busy people. And the fact that we can eat so healthy quickly without having to spend hours and hours on a Sunday meal prepping and
Absolutely.
oh my gosh, like we just don't have time for that. And it's not in my energy level nor his. So we're definitely air fryer, anything, chicken tenders, anything.
I hear you. I can't even remember the last time I actually used my regular oven other than to store some pots in it.
Yeah, he's a big
Everything's air
cast
fryer.
iron. He's a cast iron guy. So if we have burgers, he'll definitely do like our chicken burgers and our beef burgers. He'll do that in the cast iron, and they're phenomenal. But anything else, like we just
Awesome.
pop it in the air fryer and we go. Even like veggies, we're not too big on. We're not like a vegetable family. It's when we go out to eat, we'll get vegetables. Like we go to Fresh Chef at least once a week
Hmm.
and we get like mixed vegetables and Brussels and stuff like that. But day to day, we're not vegetable people. So we're trying to get better with that.
Yeah, one thing that amazed me with the medication is that you actually crave the healthier foods more than the junky foods.
Yep. We
And,
we literally just said that the other day. We're like, we were hungry and I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, I'm kind of craving like a chicken breast. And I'm like, that's so random, but so accurate.
yeah, it's like that. That was just amazed me that people could do that. Have you found any other peculiar things about this medication like that? Or
Yeah, so we actually were laughing. So his mom came to visit us last week, and I had to stop at CVS. And Anthony and I are suckers for Reese's white ghosts, like the white chocolate ghosts that they have at
hmm.
Halloween. They are literally our favorite. We'll buy them, stick them in our freezer. Now, pre GLP, I would get those. They're like on sale. They're like buy one, get one free for like those
Hmm.
little tiny bags. I would get a bag of those and something would just inconvenience me for the day. And I would literally buy a bag for home and buy an extra bag. And I would sit in my car and I would just eat them like crazy. It would kill my stomach. Whatever's in their peanut butter mixture just gives me the worst stomach cramps. And I wouldn't care. I'm like, oh, I love this. This is so great. So we went, I got one bag. It's still in the freezer. I think we've had maybe 6 pieces each in the past week, whereas I would have brought that bag home and it would have been gone like in one night. So that's definitely something that we're excited about because I have a massive, massive sweet tooth and it's almost gone, like very much non-existent anymore. So that is fantastic for me because the sugar is just not good. It's a very bad addicting drug. So
Yeah, it is. And you're speaking of Reese's peanut butter cups. That was kind of like my downfall, and I really hadn't had any. And occasionally, if I get the urge for a Quest mix, like a 90-calorie, low sugar one, yeah, so I'll have that, and it seems to satisfy me. Well, at work the other day, somebody brought in a bag of the real ones because we're getting close to Halloween, and I had one. I'm like, this is disgustingly sweet.
mhm.
I now prefer the lower sugar one.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's weird how.
It like hits your cheeks now and you're like, "Ooh, gross."
So have you had any side effects at all?
So the only side effects that I really had is in the beginning, I would say on my 2.5 and my 5 milligrams, I would get like a slight headache, kind of like a sinus headache, nothing like a migraine or debilitating. I would
Hmm.
get kind of like a headache and a little bit of nausea. And that was in the beginning. Now I just bumped up to 7.5 and I didn't have anything this past week. And I have been using the back of my arm as my injection site because
Hmm.
I felt like that was the best for me as far as not having any side effects. And I did do my 7.5 in my belly. I was like, I know I'm bumping up and I'm going to go on my belly, but I just want to test it out, see how it goes. And I didn't have a single side effect. I was so excited because I was kind of worried that I was going to carry those two like the whole entire time, like the headache and the nausea. And once I bumped up this past week and I did it, and I was like, whew, no side effects. I'm so excited. Anthony hardly gets any. If anything, he'll
Mhm.
get a slight headache, but he doesn't get nauseous or anything like that. Um, and I will say the constipation is crazy for me. Him, not at all. I take Belly Welly every single day. And if
Mhm.
I miss it, I'm like, oh, I'm so bloated and uncomfortable. Like it's so that I would say that
I
is the
hear you.
extent of like the worst thing that has happened to me since taking the GLP-1s. I did
How
have
long
some
how
hair
long
loss.
have you been on each dose?
So I have done a month for each one. So the
Mhm.
2.5, that was, I would say, where I experienced like the most hair loss, the quickest weight loss. That was right in the beginning. And then the last 2 weeks of the 2.5, I was miserable. Like my food
Mhm.
noise was back. I wanted to eat everything in sight. So my doctor was like, all right, let's bump you up again. And I was good on the 5 for the first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, again, my food noise came back like
Hmm.
angry. And I was like, I want to eat everything again. Like it's crazy how it was like a switch for me. And then the 7.5, tomorrow we take my second injection of that one, but it's already Sunday. Normally by Sunday, I'm starving and I want to eat everything in sight. So far, I feel very satisfied. So I'm hoping this is going to be a good dose. And if it is, I'm planning on staying on this one a little bit longer because you don't have to. I don't think people realize too,
Right.
you don't have to jump up every single month. If you find
Right.
one that works for you, stay on it for as long as you want to. So I'm going to listen to my body for sure and see if 7.5 is a good spot for me for a little bit. And then if I start to feel like I did at those last 2 weeks where it's just making me miserable, I'll definitely bump up again.
Did you do measurements or pictures or anything before you started so that you could
Yes.
follow your journey?
Yeah. So I'm not a measurements person because I am terrible with the tape measure. I know they have like those automatic ones, but I didn't start it. I always could because I still have a long way to go. But I have always been a pictures person. I started weight loss maybe 4 years ago after my hysterectomy.
Mhm.
And I always took selfies of my face, and to watch my face change over the course of like a year was crazy, very impressive. So I plan on sticking with my progress pictures. That is something that I will never change. Progress pictures and videos for sure, because you can see it. It's the, being able to visualize your weight loss is fantastic. I'm not obsessed about the scale as I have been in the past. I much rather the pictures. I think it's
Mhm.
healthier too.
Other than the pictures, have you had any other non-scale victories?
Yes, definitely cutting the sugar noise out. That has the Reese's bag has definitely been a victory for me because like I said, I remember sitting in my car just gluttonous shoving Reese's in my mouth and I'm like, who are you? You know what I mean? Um, those are definitely my victories, and fitting into stuff that I was tight in the winter, like January, February. We went to Jamaica and I bought like beachwear and stuff like that. And it was
Mhm.
just very unflattering the way I looked. And now putting it on, we're going at the end of the year to Cancun. And I was like, let me just try these out, see if and they look so much better. And I'm like, yes, this is like
Mm.
what I'm waiting for. So I very much like the energy level too. My non-scale victories of feeling motivated. There's something about being on GLP-1 and feeling motivated to work out as
Mhm.
well. Whereas before, I was like, what? I got to a point where I'm like, what's the point of working out? Because I'll lose 30 pounds and then I'll gain 20 of it back. And I'll go back down 10 and then I'll gain 15. So now I feel way more confident in working out, that this is like the time that it's going to finally stick.
Well, hopefully by the time you make it to Cancun, you'll have to buy new clothes anyhow.
I would love that
That'll be nice.
because I hope I can go down at least a size by then. I have 4 months, so
That would be great. So, uh, yeah, are you planning on using the GLP-1 medication when you go away, or are you gonna hold back so that you can enjoy a vacation? Do you have you thought about it at all?
we did talk about that, I would say, like, last week. I was like, "What are we gonna do?" Because our shots are Tuesdays, and we leave on a Sunday. So I was like, "We could either skip it, um, or take it early." I don't know if that's, like, the healthy thing to do.
Well, you
In
can
my
take it with
mind,
you.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, "In my mind, we can just take it with us." But both of us, we love Mexican food. That's like top.
Mhm,
Italian and Mexican is like our thing. So I don't know if I want to not enjoy my week in Mexico. You know what I mean? So we're still on the
mhm,
fence about it. We don't want to get in that mindset where we deserve to have a treat. So like, let's skip it and go. Like the idea of this is to be a tool to help you learn healthy habits, healthy eating, healthy portion control, all of that. So I don't want to not take it. And then we go crazy in Mexico and then we come back and we're just feeling like terrible. And then I
mhm.
also don't want to take it with us because I want to enjoy tacos on the beach and tequila drinks, even though we don't really like to drink. But it's just those small things where you're
Right.
conflicted. So I don't think we'll make a decision until we're way closer, but we have talked about it. It's come up a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I've always been on the fence with it because one vacation I didn't take it, and then I'm like, "No, I really wish I would've." Then another one, instead of taking my 7.5, I only took 5, and that wasn't bad. And I guess it also depends on how long I'm gone for. If it's only a couple days, I could cut back. If I'm gone a whole week or longer, I'm like, "Yeah, I should just take the shot," and, there'll be plenty of time that I can go out, maybe not the first night, but so I'm always a little torn on that one.
I know.
So
That's why I was
I
like,
get that.
I don't know what the right thing to do is. So hopefully at that point, we'll be on it for half a year at that point. So I'm like, maybe we can just skip one and just enjoy our vacation because him and I we very much try to balance discipline with enjoying life too. So
Mhm.
we're always torn. It's like a devil's advocate always in our household, like what we're supposed to do. So
Yeah, like, I'm going out of town this coming up weekend, and it's like my favorite Chicago pizza place is gonna be there. I'm like, "How could" and that's like my shot day. I'm like, "How could I do that?"
oh my
Like, maybe I'll
gosh.
just take it with me and take it the next day, like,
Yep.
it's it's a little conflicted, like I said. So, have you ever traveled with the medication before?
No, this is gonna be our first time. So we don't know protocols. I don't know how we're supposed to keep it cold. I don't know. It
Amazon sells all sorts of little things for the shots,
Oh,
with little
do
ice
they?
bags you can put in, like little thermoses. They have like hard containers, soft containers, depending on,
Okay,
what you have and so
okay.
forth.
Well,
That
that's
would
good
be
to
my
know.
suggestions is
Okay,
search around there.
I had
And
no
they
I
also
didn't
have ones that you could literally plug in a little power thing too, and it'll like keep it refrigerated. There's all sorts of things depending on how
of
much you
course
want to
there
spend,
is,
how big you want to go, and so forth.
of
And
course.
as far as the airlines, it's not a big deal just carrying it in the little. They'll tell you which ones are airline safe and which ones aren't, and so forth.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I had no
Just
idea. I
a
didn't
little
look into it yet, so thank you for that.
absolutely. So, have you told your friends and your family that you're taking the medication, or do they not know? Or
I mean, it wasn't anything that I felt the need to I did talk to my auntie about it, she does take it too, but it wasn't anything that I felt like the need to announce to anybody.
Mhm,
My health journey is my personal journey.
absolutely.
Um, if they happen to see it, that's great. If it helps somebody and encourages somebody to take the leap and do it, that's great. I'm not a pusher, so I'm never going to be like, I took
Mhm.
this and I take that. You need to. No, I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy. Like last week, I was having a mental breakdown because I was crying over the scale. And this week, I'm like, I'm feeling like cute and snatched, like all this. It's a very personal and unique journey for all of us. So I don't feel the need to talk about it in a way that, makes me
Mhm.
seem like pushy to anybody. If it helps somebody in my family, if they see it and they want to ask me questions about it, absolutely. But I don't feel the need to announce it and be like, hey, I'm taking this and I'm going to feel better. No, because everybody has their own opinions about things. And
Mhm.
I've done social media long enough where I realize every single person has an opinion and their opinions of me don't matter. Like it's not my business. So I just stay focused on myself. Anthony, I did not put somebody commented on one of my videos and they're like, you seem like the pushy one in the relationship and you got to control your man and make him take something he doesn't even need. And I was like, I don't hold him down and shove a needle in
Mhm.
his arm and belly. Let's be real. He saw me doing it. I said, I would love for you to do this with me. We both have a lot of extra weight around our midsections, which we know there are tons of health issues with
Mhm.
that. So I told him about it and he was like, all right, let's do it. He felt guilty. He's like, I don't want to spend all this money on it because his insurance wouldn't pay for it. I'm like,
Mhm.
babe, you can't even put a price on your health anymore. Like, you
Mhm.
just can't. We'll stay at this weight and down the line we'll become sicker and we'll, acquire more health issues, or we can just nip it now while we're in our 30s and 40s and just be done with it. And so I'm glad that he jumped on board with me. I'm really happy for
Mhm.
him. I do everything with him. So
Have people noticed that you're losing weight?
yes, I'll post stuff on like my socials and especially on Instagram and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I could see your face. Like it looks so much like less inflamed and all that." And even on YouTube, they'll be like, "I just watched your first video and oh my god, your face has changed so much." And I'm like, "I know, my fat goes right to my face first." I was like, so I'm glad it leaves there first too. But yeah, people I could definitely notice too and I just feel so much better. The inflammation around my
Mhm.
joints like I love sitting Indian style, like when I'm doing schoolwork,
Mhm.
I love sitting like that on the couch. And I would sit like that for 15 minutes and go to straighten my legs out, and I couldn't stand for 20 minutes. Now I'm like up and down off the floor. I feel like a kid again. It's fantastic.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about your channel.
Yes. So my YouTube channel is, I kind of started out with not really knowing what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull some of like my Instagram, which is mostly just golf. But then I just felt like I wanted something more personal to me, like where I can just full on express myself and hopefully build like a community that can support each other. I could support them, they could support me. So my channel is just about basically my real life experiences. It's
Mhm.
my weight loss, it's the mental struggles, my struggles with anxiety, relationship struggles, work, school, mostly weight loss, but also with my boyfriend. Like we want to incorporate more of our golf content, showing how being with your best friend and doing things together is so healthy. Like him and I have had previous relationships where it wasn't like this at all. And now getting healthy, building a life with somebody, it just feels great. So I'm all about, I always say I'm like, I'm not somebody to promote things, but I love promoting like happy, healthy relationships with your significant other. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if it's like a generational thing, but they make it seem like a transactional type of thing where the man's supposed to provide for you all the time. But him and I like aren't like that. We don't take each other for granted. We both give, we both take. Like it's such an easy flow for us. So we love showing of ourselves together because I feel like it's going to show other people like it's okay to have a best friend and your partner and you could do everything together, not get sick of each other and lose weight together, go on adventures together. So Right now, it's most of the GLP stuff, but as I get
I think we
oh,
lost you.
sorry.
Oh, there you're back. Okay. So is there a video that you're most proud of on your channel?
Definitely my 2-month check-in where I was, like, very vulnerable. That was, I think, my last week's video. Um, I was proud to, like, set aside my nerves and just give it to people straight about how I'm actually feeling, and that felt really good to see that I'm not alone in the way I think, so I'm definitely proud of that one for sure.
Have you thought about this medication as a long-term tool, or is it just till you get to your goal weight or
I think until I get to my goal weight and then I'll evaluate. I might do like micro dosing, slowly wean myself off of it. I don't
Mhm,
think I'm gonna be just like a cold turkey, cut it off and like that's it.
mhm.
But I don't want to take medicine, any kind of medicine for the rest of my life. That's just not my goal. So I do want to get to a point where I can wean myself off slowly.
Have you thought about, because statistically, most of the people, when they do stop, like many other diets, start gaining the weight back.
Yeah, that does make me nervous. I feel like by the time I get to my goal weight, if I go at a nice slow pace, I'll learn to listen to my body cues more. And if I find
Mhm,
myself getting out of, if I find myself creating unhealthy habits again, I feel like that's going to be my cue to take a step back and maybe use the GLP-1 as
mhm.
a help. I don't want to rely on it, but if I
Right.
do need it to help me, I have no problem taking it again.
Have you heard of any of the new medications that are coming out in the next year?
No.
Because they have one called orforglipron, which I'm hoping they change the name because it's a really hard to pronounce, uh, and
Yeah.
it's a daily pill,
Oh, okay.
and you don't have to have a full stomach or an empty stomach. It's not quite as effective as even the Wegovy, but the fact that you take it every day, to me, especially on maintenance, because I'm on maintenance now, I'm hoping to get that nice even keel, and it's going to be less expensive because it doesn't require refrigeration because it's in a pill form, and hopefully that, and the fact that retatrutide, which is has uh, GLP, GIP, and glucagon, so it's got three.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully that might bring the price of the Zepbound or tirzepatide down.
Would
Who
love
knows
that.
with big pharma, but
I
but
know.
yeah, that's the future. Um, have you noticed you ordering differently when you go to restaurants and eating differently?
Yeah, we tend to stay away from the carbs, and we definitely focus heavily, like, on a main protein dish and veggies, which is very unlike us. I'm a penne alla vodka connoisseur, so any place we go, I'm like, "I need the penne alla vodka," and I haven't had that in months, so I'm excited that we're making smarter choices. It's an effort, like, it's not just a cheat code where you're like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna solve all my problems." No, you still have to consciously make right choices. You still have to work out, you still have to eat healthy,
Hmm.
and you'll learn, like, your body's gonna reject eating unhealthy foods. I remember my very first video I put out, I didn't know I was my first day and we had leftover pizza from the night before and I had talked about it and people were like, "Oh, you shouldn't be eating." And I was like, "Oh my god, it was my first 24 hours. Like cut a girl some slack. My goodness." Like I get everybody wants to help you and give you
Hmm.
whatever, but I was like, you also have to learn on your own too, like what works and what doesn't. So I haven't had pizza, well, that much of pizza, but we've had it like once a month since then, where we would get it every
Yeah,
single
that's
Friday night.
great. Uh-huh. Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, you should have no food off limits in my head, at least.
correct.
Just be reasonable, and maybe the amount of times that you have it might change.
Yeah.
That's just me. So, what other kinds of diets have you tried in the past?
Oh my God. What haven't I done? Keto, carnivore, um, Atkins. low calorie, like just counting calories, like obsessing about calories, measuring things out. Like I'm not doing that. Like I just can't do that. I created so many unhealthy habits over the years with food, and I just can't. I have
Hmm.
tried everything. The amount of supplements I've purchased off the internet, the amount of vitamins and all these things that were supposed to like curb nothing has ever worked for me. Nothing. This is the only thing where I have felt helps me entirely, mentally, physically.
Hmm.
Like I just feel great on this.
As far as my thinking, this is one of the only medications that actually treats the problem rather than just the symptom.
Yep.
And, most things are not like that. Most of them, like you go to the doctor, you have a sinus problem, here's antibiotics, let's treat the symptoms. You know, if you get it again, then we'll worry about what's causing it. Like
Yeah.
this, like actually treats everything.
I know.
And
And
that's what has me excited.
some people need things. Like I did not know before I started taking anxiety medication, I did not know that people don't live like this all the time, like wound up and like so on edge and just feeling like anything can just send you into like a spiral. I had no idea that everybody lived like that until I went on anxiety medication, and I was like, okay, like this is just, some people need that with GLP-1. Like some people physically need it for their brains, whatever receptors don't align up for us, like we just need it. It's not a cheat. It's not, it's a tool. It's just like an anxiety medication, like where you just need it
Hmm.
to help you. Some of us are wired differently. Some of us don't have the same upbringing. My internet keeps going out over here.
That's
Some of
okay.
us don't have like the same upbringing with like healthy food and food choices. So
That's true. Do you weigh yourself daily, weekly,
mm-mm.
not care about scales or?
I do my weigh-ins on shot day on Tuesdays. That's as far as I'm going to go. Same for my boyfriend. Tuesdays, that's it. No more. I don't want us to obsess about the scale. It's not healthy for us. So definitely not a
It's
daily
probably a good
person.
choice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what kind of workouts do you do?
We do a lot. So I love Pilates. I just did a workout
Mhm.
earlier. So I have my workout shirt on. So I did Pilates earlier. And
Me
then
too.
we do, yeah, see? And then we do a lot too of like free weights. Like in our
Mhm.
garage, we have like bar curls, squats, lunges, all those kind of things. We want to make sure that we're working our body, like we're big on body weight movement because that's the best tool you can honestly use, especially how busy we are. I don't have time to spend 2 hours in the gym 5 days a week. I just don't. I'm maxed out with my time. So we just do stuff at home. I lost 40 pounds at home years ago.
Mhm.
So you can do it. Everybody can do it. It's just, you got to stay dedicated to it.
What is your reaction to somebody who says, you don't need the medication, just eat less, move more?
I got like in an Instagram fight the other day. I think it was like yesterday, the day before, because people were like, oh, all you got to do is just, and I was like, all you got to do is just shut up because you have
Mhm.
no idea. If it were that simple, you don't think that we'd be doing this. Those of us that are on a GLP-1 have exhausted every single option for years and years and years. That's the reality of it. We have probably worked harder than every single person that you see in the gym because we have tried everything. We have done everything. We have wanted to be like the people that can walk into the gym and in a year look fantastic and stay that way. And we just can't. It's not as easy for some of us. So when people start to say stuff like that, I'm like, the uneducated level of your thinking makes my brain hurt. And I'm going to fact check you and we'll move on.
Mhm. Yeah, I was in the gym a couple months ago talking to somebody else who's also a GLP-1 user, and this, big muscle guy came up and said, "You don't need that shit. Just, eat less, work harder." And I just looked at him and said, "You don't need those steroids. Just work out a little bit more."
I know, right?
I'm surprised he didn't get decked.
Yep. Yep, it's so true, like, worry about your own self. I never go on anybody's page, like weightlifters, and I'm not like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be taking creatine and all those, like, muscle absorption." I don't give a single tiny rat's a about what you are doing. I care
Mhm,
about me and my household. That's it. That's all I care about. That's it.
absolutely.
Focus on yourself.
So what is your best advice to somebody thinking about medication or somebody who just started?
So my best advice, if somebody is thinking about it, definitely do your own research. Watch vlogs if you can, watch anything when it comes to doctors, experienced people that have been on it for a long time. And if you're on the fence about it, my whole thing is I don't ever want to be somebody that feels like they missed an opportunity. So my whole thing is try it for 30 days. Nothing bad is going to happen to you in 30 days. If you are heinously sick, if you're throwing up, then you know it's not for you and you might have to maybe try something else or whatever. But there's nothing that's going to happen that bad in 30 days where it should deter you from trying it if you're on the fence about it. And if you don't like it, it was only 30 days. If you do like it, it's going to change your life. So that's my whole
Mhm.
perspective on things. Like I said, I just can't sit with the what ifs. That's just one thing about me that I don't love. So I got to try something at least once.
And somebody who is just starting, what would your advice be?
My advice would be to make sure you take a lot of fiber and hydrate because you're going to need it.
It's amazing how much we talk about poop on the internet now. It's
I
like
know. I
it's
don't
like
care.
I'm fascinated, like, "Really? Yeah, I've
Yeah.
resorted to this?" Yeah.
Yep. I call it my constant poopies. That's what I call it. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Any, last comments, last remarks, or anything? I don't wanna keep you all day.
That's okay. Honestly, I would just tell people to make sure your journey is your journey. Do not compare yourself to
Mhm,
anybody else on the internet. Do not compare yourself to the pounds lost per week, how long it's taking you, side effects. Every single one of us is different. You can use the GLP-1 community for support. It's one of the most
mhm,
supportive communities I've ever been in. As being a golf girl for 3 years on the internet, this is one of the most supportive communities I've ever been a part of.
absolutely.
Everybody's so intelligent, they have tips and tricks, and just submerge yourself in a community where you can learn things. Don't compare. That's going to kill your journey. It's going to kill your mood. It's going to kill your momentum. So I would definitely make sure you're focusing on yourself and take a ton of pictures and videos because you're going to look back and be like, I wish I took more videos and
Mm,
pictures
mhm,
because the way your body is
mm.
going to change, you're going to be so excited to never have to go back and look at it again. Be like, oh my God, this is fantastic.
I wanna remind everybody that Nicole's information, her channel is gonna be listed in the description. I wanna thank you for taking time out of the weekend. I appreciate that. I'm
Thanks,
sure my
Lori.
viewers do. Um, and appreciate everything that you're doing. You have a great channel. Keep up the good work. Tell
Thank
Anthony to
you.
keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, Lori. Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you. And that's gonna be a wrap.